Okay, today I'm going to talk about something really important. So the top painting here is a painting I did here on the easel. I used a little bit different technique. I used a lot of linseed oil to try and build up the smoothness, the butteriness, and make it a little more flow, a little bit faster, easier, better. And the same thing I did with the bottom one. Now the top one, I like the paint. I think it turned out pretty nice, colorful, this and that. It was a blast to paint. I mean, it's like a lot of joy. The bottom one, and the top one I did from a photograph that I did from Columbia River area. But the bottom one I did add a paint out. And it was a scene there at the park and everything. And quite honestly, like parks, manicured lawn parks, generally I find aren't like the best place to paint because it's like it's too manicured or something. I don't know. But anyway, there's this hill grove of trees and it overlooks the harbor and the ocean, this and that and everything. Granted, it's pretty big. This is I think it's 11 by 14 or 12 by 16. And it's pretty big for plein air painting, at least for me. I usually like it 9 by 12 tops, 8 by 10 preferably. And so the thing is, though, is the bottom painting sucks. It's bad. It just looks amateur hour, at least to me. I look at it, and while, I've got some good brush strokes in there, and the color layering, this and that, but you can just tell that this line right here, even though that's really fairly accurate of what was there, because it's like there's a big slope that goes down, it just looks terrible. And then the way I set the trees in, it doesn't look like the trees are sitting there. And then you get this grass here, and then the further grass, just those colors don't really match. It doesn't say that it's like, oh, that's just one big plane of grass. And the trees was like just a really big bramble of trees. And so it's like you just want to show like just texture of trees, but you have to simplify it a lot, or else it won't look good. So anyway, and then you had this like hedgerow of bushes in the back, but it was like so saturated green, dark, and everything that if you were to paint it as it was, it'd look really forward. As opposed to this and the trees. And so while it was kind of a neat scene to look at and enjoy, it didn't translate well into a painting. So, and one of the important things when you're out painting and being an artist and everything is knowing how to edit yourself, knowing how to look at the works that you do and say, oh, it didn't work, it's a tosser. Scrape it, toss it, done. At no point should you ever think that like everything you do is a winner. It's just simply not true. So this one will probably go into the discard pile. Now some people do they have a discard pile and then they burn them all. I haven't done that yet. I don't know, but I'm going to try it. This one might be getting it. So, I don't know. Whatever floats your boat. So anyway, sorry I didn't video painting this one though. I really should have, but I was really into this book I was listening to. But I just want to show you the painting. So I think that's about it for today right now, and then I'm going to do another painting of another one show. Here, so here's a couple of pictures I did, by the way. These are photographs that I printed out on my printer. The trip, and I was driving, going 80 something miles an hour, and you just see these amazing scenes. You're like, oh, I gotta do that, but then you print it out and you're like, well, that looks crap, So the trick is you gotta pull a scene out of this. You pull a scene, you're like, what was it that just really captured me, and how can we make it into a scene? That is Mount Shasta, I believe, by the way. So anyway, how do you make that scene into something that looks good, that captures the spirit of what you saw when you saw it in person, and then you print it out and it looks flat and terrible, and so we got to figure out how to make this into a good painting. See how it works.